Hello, and I would like to welcome you to Week 2 of Safety Week 2023. This week, we are going to do a group activity focused on identifying the jobs that we perform routinely that contribute specifically to hand injuries or pose some sort of hand hazard risk. So, why are we focusing on hands? If you remember last week's kickoff topic, since 2020, hand injuries have been the leading cause of incidents across all business units. Specifically, if you do a breakdown of all injuries to all body parts, you can see that incidents that affected our hands and fingers are an overwhelming leader at 510 occurrences. During the group activity today, you're going to have the opportunity to list out potential processes that could directly affect this part of our body. We will use these observations during Week 3's activities to discuss best practices and corrective actions. In doing so, we will make these processes safer when performing them, especially as it relates to our hands and fingers. To give a little data on our hand safety journey, you can see that since 2020, 510 out of 1,887 injuries that occurred directly affected our hands. This is 27% of all recordable cases. A further breakdown shows that these incidents were attributed to pinch points, crushing and/or smashing, and lacerations and improper material handling. The hand hazard hunt activity will allow us to observe and identify those high-risk activities that we do routinely that specifically involve the above categories. So, during the hand hazard hunt, what are key hazards or processes that we should be focusing on? The first section we can focus on is pinch points. Pinch points are areas or situations where two objects or surfaces come together, creating a narrow space that poses a risk of pinching or crushing body parts, particularly the hands. Some common pinch points that we deal with every day are rolling pipe, adjusting jack stands, placing chocks between product that could potentially roll, strapping down product on a fleet truck, using leverage tools in a tight area, dead rollers at the end of conveyor lines, hand stacking brick and block, QC activities when handling product, and our moving production machinery. It is important to be cautious around pinch points and take preventative measures to avoid injuries. This includes being aware of potential pinch points, using appropriate safety guards or devices when working with machinery, and keeping hands and fingers away from closing or moving parts. The second section we can focus on is areas that have potential for crush or smash injuries. Crush or smash injuries can occur when a body part gets compressed between two objects, resulting in damage to the tissues, blood vessels, and bones. Some common crush-smash scenarios that we deal with every day are unguarded tail or head pulleys, chains and sprockets that drive our machines, bag kickers, hand stacking brick and block, palletizers, rolling material on QC lines, shifting pallets, and mobile equipment use. Crushing or smashing hazards need to be identified and proper task analysis put in place to eliminate exposure to these types of incidents. The third section we can focus on are areas that have a high potential for lacerations or improper material handling. Some common laceration or improper material handling scenarios that we deal with every day are welding burrs, opening boxes, utility knife use, worn metal edges, handling finished product, using stock metal or steel, and power tool use. It is important to note that lacerations can range from minor cuts that can be treated on site to more severe injuries that require immediate medical attention. If a laceration is deep, extensive, or accompanied by severe bleeding, it is essential to seek medical help promptly. Now, let's look at the rules for the hand hazard hunt. They are as follows. Number 1, each plant will divide into equal teams, roughly 4 to 6 teams per plant depending on the plant size. Number 2, each team will be given a hand hazard hunt observation sheet. Number 3, teams will then be placed in the plant in separate areas: cuber, bagging, kiln repair, QC, etc. Number 4, teams will have 30 minutes to identify and document routine tasks that we perform daily that puts us at high risk for hand injuries. Number 5, once completed, each team will pick their top observation to present to the rest of the groups, as well as preliminary ideas on how to enhance these processes and make them more safe. And number 6, during week 3 of Safety Month, we will develop best practices and corrective actions based on these observations. Each group will be given a team observation worksheet to track their hand hazard observations. There are 2 sections that each team will be filling out. Section 1, each team will write down all processes that were observed that have a high risk of becoming a hand injury. In Section 2, each team will write down the hand injuries that could occur from the observed tasks, as well as brainstorming some potential fixes to make it safer. Now, let's choose our teams and start identifying hand hazards in our facility. Thank you, and enjoy Safety Week 2023.